Today, I'm out in the wilderness exploring some new off-piste lines and finding some epic features for the first time. But with the conditions being slightly challenging, things don't exactly go to plan. Okay, today's mission, I'm taking the hardtail out, seeing if I can explore some brand new off-piste lines. Let's see what I can find. So, like a bloodhound that's caught the scent, I set off towards some off-piste. And it wasn't long before I found exactly what I was looking for. Okay, there's a line going this way. It's really slippery out here today. It was raining just before I got in the car, and it's only just stopped. But before I had the chance to talk about the weather some more, I hit a crossroads. Which way to go? This way. I love finding trail gems like this one. Riding them blind is amazing fun. Although it's not always easy to pick the best line. That was narrow. Riding within your limits is important, but as long as you keep your eyes forward and stay focused on the trail ahead, you'll have the makings of a superb day out. Riding off-piste is not like riding trail centres. There are no crafted trail surfaces and no signposts. The terrain constantly changes. There are loose rocks and other features that are not exactly made for riding. Because of this, you need to be confident that you're not riding out your limits and be fully prepared for everything. You definitely need to trust the kit that you have. And little did I know, I would be putting mine to the test later today. So one of the best things about just going searching for off-piste lines is they just jump out at you from nowhere. And you have absolutely no idea about, anything on the trail. If it's a long one, a short one, if it's any good, if there's maybe a massive drop or a feature in the middle. You just have no idea. And that really is half the fun. This next trail I stumbled on took me on a long winding route through the woods. It's also a good one to showcase what it can be like riding in winter conditions. Oh my god, this is so sloppy in here. Goes to show just how slippery it really is. After the sloppy first section, things luckily became less like a bog and more like a rideable trail. I've always enjoyed taking my hardtail on natural lines like this. It's agile and responsive and takes to the trails like a duck in water. Nice. Which is a good thing today because this trail is soaking wet. This one may seem like a nice flowing line, but it does end with a bang. So far this is great. As you make your way through the trees, the trail starts to speed up. The second half is where things get a bit steeper. As you'll see, the ground down in this lower section is really wet and super muddy. Traction is definitely an issue. These conditions can definitely prove to be an added challenge. But if you're riding hard in the winter, you'll ride easy in the summer. Meaning that if you're putting in the effort and challenging yourself in conditions like this, then you'll be able to ace these trails in the dry. And trust me, this last feature is steeper than it looks. Let's give this a go. Well, glad I survived that. Ideally, I came out today to find some amazing downhill lines, and so far it's going well. But when you're exploring completely blind, you end up finding a mixed bag of trails and terrain. All in all, I found a good mixture of downhill riding, slower technical sections, and even some flatter traverse sections. Today isn't about riding laps of well-known trails, but doing a bit of exploring. And although I was after the fast-paced downhill, I really enjoyed these tight sections in the woods. In fact, even the single track between the downhill trails was good fun, because you never really know what challenges you're going to come across, or when the next awesome piece of trail is going to present itself. It's a great challenge to explore some different types of terrain and situations that you won't get at a bike park or a trail centre. This terrain really gets you working on your bike and body position as you try and make your way along the trail as smoothly as possible. Off-piste is also a good opportunity for you to work on your line spotting. We're going right. Down at the bottom of this run, the trail is hard to follow. There are different lines that peel off left and right, but with all the fallen leaves and needles, the best line option can be difficult to spot. When you're focusing on multiple aspects of riding, developing your line spotting is an important skill. If you can successfully pick the right line whilst adapting things like your body position and speed, then you're well on your way to becoming a successful rider. Luckily, the line I took through here led me back onto some recognisable single track, ready to ride another trail. And with this next trail I found, I struck gold. This wasn't just another natural downhill trail, there are a few man-made features to play on here, and it looks like a lot of fun. Considering the muddy conditions of the last trail, after riding a short way along here, I stopped to explore the trail on foot and assess the conditions, and I'm glad that I did. So I've just stumbled across what looks like an awesome track. I've just come to check it out first because there's a few monsters on it. Woo! The drop itself doesn't look too tricky, but it has a short run up and a really steep landing. So this drop here, we're talking a decent height into some mushy stuff, so we'll see how I feel when I get to it, if I get to it. So of course I've just come to have a look at some of these features because I'm out here in the forest on my own, and it's always good just to have an idea of what you're going to go over, just to make sure it's not some 7-foot drop or something. And of course I'm on the hardtail. Let's give it a run. Of course I'm lucky in that I have two bikes, a hardtail and a full suspension. Today of course I'm on the Voodoo Bizango Pro hardtail. I love taking this bike exploring. It can handle anything that I throw at it, and it's a hardy and reliable machine. But without full suspension, it's always worth scoping out a trail before you ride it. Hello. Okay, I'm sticking with the code of not showing any trail entrances here. Let's give this one a go. Starting my way from the top of the trail, I was feeling confident about riding the drop. I know my kit is up to scratch, and I've ridden larger drops in the past with no problems. The only variable is the wet trail conditions. In this upper part, there are a few wetter sections and puddles. In the dry, the trail will run a lot faster, but today I don't need very much speed to hit the drop. Just good bike control. Well, that was my plan anyway. Coming around the last few corners, I got ready to send it. Here we go. I made it and hit the brakes. Good one, idiot. Okay, well, I'm okay. Bike's okay. Well, back to the top, let's try it again. So my issue that time wasn't anything to do with the run up or the drop like I sort of anticipated. I landed it absolutely fine, but then I got down to the corner there and it was just absolutely disgusting. So I ended up sort of landing down by that tree. So I'm going to give it one more go just to see if I can run it just a bit cleaner really. So attempt number 2. Hopefully I can get that corner at the bottom okay. I know the drop's fine, not a problem. Let's just see if I can finish this trail. Feeling slightly nervous? I dropped in once again. No problems, easy does it that time. Yeah. I'm fully psyched that I made that. Nice. After taking a bit of a battering, I decided to hit one last trail on the way back down to the car. A trail I've ridden before, a long time ago. Previously, this was an uninterrupted flowing line through the woods, but due to some recent logging work, the first few hundred metres are a mix between patches of woodland and these boggy open areas. It's fair to say that I won't be winning any KOMs on Strava today. As I got further down the trail, I headed under the cover of the trees. The trail gets a bit more interesting and flows a bit freer down here. As the trail picks up speed, you head over a couple of punchy jumps. These are a great addition and they make the trail really interactive. And they're perfect size for hardtails. One tap of your front brake and you're a goner on some of this. Even in the slippery conditions, this trail is a lot of fun. Once it's recovered from the logging and dried out a bit, I'm sure it'll be back to its former glory. It follows the top of this small ridgeline before taking a dive down into the gully. And that's where things get really sketchy. It's so loose, this stuff. After my little hiccup on a trail earlier, I definitely feel a little banged up, so I approached this last section with a bit of caution. Amazing, I made it down here in one piece. That was a really great day's riding. It was good to explore some new trails and test myself in these conditions. So thanks for watching today, remember to like this video, subscribe like mad, and I'll see you next time.